Buddy, and welcome in. It is time for another edition of WAJR's Ask the Experts. Thanks so much for being with us. I'm Tony Caridi, and I am joined in studio by Josh Arbaugh of HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness. And our topic today is going to be golf, fitness, and exercise. How do those two go together? If you do play, how can we keep you away from injury? Josh is well credited in this field. He's not only a physical therapist at HealthWorks, he also carries a Titleist Performance Institute certification. So he has gone to the next level when it comes to putting together fitness, exercise, and golf so that you play at your optimum level and you stay away from injury. Josh, it's good to have you back on.
Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. So let's first off kind of do a background and an analysis, so to speak. When people play golf, of all the sports that are out there, you think, well, the sports you're going to get hurt playing are, would be maybe football and soccer and basketball, baseball. Okay, I get that. But wait a second, golf, you hit a ball and you walk, and you hit a ball and you walk. But yet, there are a good number of people that develop some form of injury, right? Because they play or aren't ready to play.
Sure. So I think we can kind of break it down into two different settings. So your everyday golfer who may not keep their body in peak physical condition, you go out on the weekends with your buddies, and you maybe don't prepare yourself to do that task. You get back into it, especially this time of year in the spring for the first time. Muscles aren't warmed up properly, and you may have a quick onset of an injury. And then if you look at the other side of things, with the professional golfers who do this week in and week out, just the repetitiveness of what they're doing could eventually lead to some wear and tear and injury as well. So,
what's the most common injury that folks that aren't ready to play get themselves into?
I would say probably some form of back pain, whether it's neck pain, mid back, or lower back pain. Just how much rotation you have in the golf swing. The spine is a very important piece to make sure it's prepared and healthy and ready to go, and can be the result of some of that overuse or just first time back out for the year kind of overuse injury.
Age-wise, do you see more of one type or another, or could it be across the board? Could someone be young and, so to speak, physically muscular, tight, and hurt themselves, or older?
Sure. I think a little bit of both. So the older clientele we see, again, just some of the normal effects of aging, and you get back to the golf course and your body's not quite ready. And then also the younger clientele who think they're in good shape and maybe have a good workout routine at the gym, but maybe their body's not quite in golf shape, because those two things can definitely be different. You feel like you're strong and you go out and you do something new and play golf, and it can lead to injury as well.
We're going to get into some of the things that you need to do before you do go out and play and start to swing that club. I mentioned at the onset that you are certified TPI certification, which means the Titleist Performance Institute. What is all of that about? What does Titleist do, and what's the intent of their program and certifications?
Sure. So they bring together medical professionals such as myself, golf professionals, and then the fitness professionals, so personal trainers, exercise physiologists, athletic trainers, all together in their level 1 certification. And they go over physical screening, so strength and flexibility assessments. They go over certain swing characteristics of the golf swing, so the piece that the golf professionals are very good at. They teach everybody the basics to be able to pick on some simple swing faults. And then kind of putting everything together as far as the exercise piece goes. So it's really comprehensive as far as hitting kind of some different topics and different professional areas that they all bring them together so that everybody can be fluid in the screening process.
You gave us a general overview as to where people normally become injured. Physiologically, when someone swings a club backward, what are we doing to our body there biomechanically?
Sure. So again, a lot of different pieces that go into it. So certain muscle flexibility and elasticity needs to be there. Your joints have to be able to move in a certain manner as well. So it's not just one particular piece of anatomy that you have to be prepared for. It's all of our different muscle, tendon, ligament, bony structure. Everything has to be taken into consideration. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily one specific piece that's usually at fault. It's usually a combination of things, but there's definitely a lot of different pieces to that puzzle when you're swinging that golf club.
Give me one step further here. So someone is ready to swing. Let's just say they're ready to drive it. and you're over the ball. That club comes back. What are we doing to our spine? What's happening right in all of that? So you got spine, you've got arms, you've got shoulders, you've got hips, you've got legs, right? I mean,
Right.
it's almost it's almost head of your top of your head to your toes. Something is involved in this.
Absolutely. So it's tough to specifically say that everybody does the same thing, because that's, if you have that perception of every golf swing's the same, then you're definitely missing the big picture. But I would say, as you start that backswing, you're right. Hips start to rotate, shoulders start to turn, then you start to get some of that rotation in your spine. And the tough part becomes, okay, so maybe my thoracic spine doesn't move as well as it should. So where am I going to compensate to be able to finish my backswing? So there can be a lot of compensations. There can be a lot of, different swing characteristics, just because everybody's body works for them differently. So it's tough to pinpoint sometimes and say, I do one thing this way, you do it another. You just have to be able to understand what moving parts there are, and how we need to make sure they're in good position so that person can repeat that swing every time without injury.
When we come back, we're going to focus on some exercises that you can perform before you go out and play, or should perform before you go out and play. What is the best way to warm up? What's the best way to stay healthy? Plus, we'll talk about the opportunities that HealthWorks has for golfers to have evaluation of swing and to try to see exactly where you are. We're talking with Josh Arbaugh, physical therapist at HealthWorks, and he's also certified by Titleist, the Titleist Performance Institute. We'll talk more about that. Stay with us. More coming up here on WAJR's Ask the Experts, sponsored by HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness.